What's up, Snorter Crew? It's yours truly, Snorter. Right now, to get into California most hated gang, EBK in the Stockton War. This is Trap Morals. It's the second channel. Yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. I think I did some probably 2 to 3 months ago on this same topic, but this is way more in depth. And yeah, 2,500 likes.
The purpose of this video is an educational documentary providing authoritative news reporting on historic events in a journalistic context. All the opinions in this video are mine alone. Everything in this video has been taken from publicly available sources, and anything used is covered under the doctrine of fair use. We have made every effort to ensure the accuracy of our sources, but I am not responsible for content that third parties publish. Content warning. This video contains themes of violence, death, and gang activity. But every effort has been made to censor this video in accordance with YouTube's advertiser and community guidelines. This video features no violence on screen, no explicit language, and no hateful language. If you want to see extended versions of my videos with much more detail, please visit patreon.com/traplawross, where you can watch the director's cut for just $2. But if you're not interested in that, hit the subscribe button and get ready to hear one of the craziest stories ever told.
When most people think about the West Coast in music, a few things come to mind. The city of LA, the Bloods and the Crips, Tupac, Dr. Dre, Draco the Ruler, or even Kendrick Lamar. But often what gets overlooked is the many cities in Northern California.
Shut up. I watched the Kendrick performance. Hey, Brody, Buddy ran back not like us 12 times at least. And then it occurred to me. Oh, he's shooting a music video. One more time, run it back. It occurred, it hit me. This nigga's recording a music video. We're doing a reaction to it whenever it drops. That was some slick shit.
California, where places like Stockton are plagued with the same issues as LA, but nowhere near the same economy or level of opportunity, with Stockton being labelled in late 2023 as one of the worst cities to live in the USA.
Is it true that Stockton's just this like incredibly grimy place?
At around 5 hours drive from LA, the city's crime rate places it as 82% more dangerous than the USA's national average, with a 2022 study finding the chance of being a victim to violent crime there is 1 in 79.
And this is an opportunity for all of...
They ain't got shit else better to do in Stockton. So it's one of them type cities like, you only visit because you got family there, and you barely visit them. That'll be your only reason. They ain't got shit else better to do in that motherfucker. God damn, shout out to Stockton.
Of us to really understand what's going on in Stockton.
It's a level of violence that rivals crimes in cities like Compton and Oakland, except this isn't a major metropolitan city. The Stockton Police Department says it's had days where police literally hop from one shooting scene to the next. At least 1/3 of this year's killings are gang-related. What you're watching is an afternoon shootout in late March. Caught on tape are 2 rival gangs, young men in their late teens and early 20s who...
Jesus said it too casual, man. Okay, that's how bad stuff That's how bad Stockton is. My bad. Did not know.
crossed paths at a South Stockton grocery store. The only person killed in the gunfire was an innocent bystander. Stockton gang members themselves tell News 10 that in this city, the young people have guns and feel no remorse.
Well, that's kind of the honor of it.
But that being said, surviving in the city of Stockton is known to be extremely tough, and many don't make it out, with Stockton ranking as #1 on the most dangerous cities in California list, beating the infamously dangerous and gang-infested Compton by 3 places. For MMA fans, they might be familiar with the legendary Diaz brothers, Nick and Nate, who always rep the city.
When I think about Stockton, I think about the Diaz brothers, the UFC fighters.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, and they're kind of, I mean, you tell me if I'm wrong, but they're kind of like a perfect, if Stockton is a crazy place, I mean, these are the craziest dudes you ever seen in your life.
They be beating some ass, I ain't
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
lie to you, man.
And they be getting high as they be smoking weed right before the drug test at their UFC fights, so that the test says that they have like 5 million times more weed in their system than they're allowed to. Is that a Stockton thing?
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, it's a Stockton thing. We be getting high.
The first thing he does, he gets into the octagon. He looks over at Robbie, he goes, Stockton! Stockton! And he starts walking around, Stockton! And Robbie's like, what the f*** is he talking about?
Even gifting the city the infamous Stockton slap. The Diaz brothers are known for their grit, always coming forward in a fight and laying it on the line. Similar to one of the West Coast's most notorious and menacing groups that hail from Stockton, EBK. EBK. Aside from the extensive catalogue of bangers, this gang has been involved in multiple sting operations and busts, including what was reportedly the largest takedown in San Joaquin County.
With 90 people charged. KCRA 3's Jason Marks joining us live in Stockton. And Jason, law enforcement is saying this sends a strong message to those who want to commit crimes.
Ty, very strong. It's making it clear that it will not be tolerated here in Stockton and also in San Joaquin County. I can tell you that this gang takedown that they just had is not only helping to prevent crime.
San Joaquin County. That shit did not San Joaquin. That's crazy. Stockton, California. Damn, they got a dim in them. Bruh, shit shouldn't be fucking funny. Okay, San Joaquin. It's like some Spanish shit. My bad. I just had to get the name official. You feel me? Not really, but I already fucked it up. I just want to, hell yeah. My bad to the Stocktonians.
Crimes that are just about to happen, but it's also helping to solve the ones that already occurred. Now, you mentioned it, what they took off the street. So let me show you, and you can see them right there. 58 guns. 10 of them assault rifles, another 12 of those were ghost guns. Now, this was the culmination, as you mentioned, of a 6-month operation here in Stockton. With help from the Attorney General's office, local law enforcement went after gang members. 90 of them have been charged, and more charges are coming. Police tell us they were also able to solve 2 unsolved murder cases with this takedown.
Organized crime in this county, and in particular in Stockton, will not be tolerated. If individuals think that this is the last they're going to see of us, they're wrong.
With members constantly in and out of jail, having shootouts with ops, or releasing super disrespectful songs about killing them, EBK stands for Everybody Killer. This group really seemingly did have beef with everybody in the whole.
That's what that means? Huh? I thought that meant everybody know. Like, everybody know. Oh my God, bro. Like, everybody know not to play with us. That's what I thought that mean. That was a bald-faced lie. Okay. Just wanted to get that clear.
Whole West Coast, and eventually even themselves. Aside from dominating the North California music scene, this crew is involved in several years-long feuds that sadly claim the lives of multiple members. So today, this is the story of one of the most savage street crews coming out of the West Coast, the EBK Hot Boys. With a population of around 320,000, Stockton is one of the oldest cities in California.
Wait, hold up. I ain't know it was that many people. 300. That motherfucker said how much? 321,800. They get 80%. It was 87%. So, nah, hell no. This ain't the numbers. I don't know, bruh. Cause you know how the fucked up shit he said in the beginning. 87% of the people here commit crimes and they the most violent out of the whole California and shit like that. All right, cool. I mean, niggas ain't got business in Stockton anyway, so it's like cool. I was just baffled at the facts he was displaying. Yeah. But anyway, I just did the numbers. 87% of the people. All right, cool. We got the number of the people. 321,000 people. Now, this is the number this motherfucker told me, which sounds like complete bullshit. I fucked up somewhere in the research. That's too many people. That's over 250,000 people committing crimes every day. Sounds like complete bullshit. And yeah, some went weird in the research, man. All right, that just failed. No safety.
Of around 320,000, Stockton is one of the oldest cities in California. Originally a port city, as the San Francisco Bay Area waters flowed all the way through to Stockton, due to the rich farming soil surrounding Stockton, this entitled surrounding cities to come to the port and collect fresh produce. But sadly, this industry died out over time, causing Stockton to become the most populous city to go bankrupt in the early 2010s. This has led to Stockton seeing multiple struggles throughout the Great Recession, all the way through to the modern day. Due to drug trafficking, segregation, and police brutality, the city has multiple degrading factors, leaving it as almost a no-go zone within the state. And to make matters worse, many Stockton residents work in the Bay Area, which is far west of Stockton.
A no-go zone? That might be the title, but that was yeah.
Creating pretty much no benefit for the economy within the city. This has given Stockton the name City of Orphans, with residents feeling failed by the government who haven't taken action and supported this community in the way that it needed, leading to further decline in state support and the collapse of possible real estate developments. The government would even prioritise their own employees with unsustainable retirement and pension programs, many of which was financed with debt. This led the city to look extremely run down, with the lack of investment leading to rampant poverty, homelessness and crime. Forbes magazine would even label the city as the top most miserable city. And the issue of the city budget still seems present to this day, with the local government apparently spending 18% of their budget on public service and policing, but just 3% on community services. You'd think that they would at least spend a little bit more attention on caring for the community and preventing crime rather than just enforcing it. All of these factors also led the city to be named as one of the worst places to raise children within the USA, with the poverty in the area being traced all the way back to the Great Recession, when Stockton experienced a record rise in home foreclosures and failures in budget management. This ultimately led to layoffs of around 20% of the police force, 38% of public workers, 46% of library staff, with a further 56% cuts in recreation staffs. From there, the city was basically doomed. When asked about Stockton, EBK affiliate Young Slowby would explain the limits within the city. Slowby explains how there's a lack of anything in the city, and anytime there is something positive implemented, it's quickly ruined. This sentiment is clearly felt by the younger generation of the city to this day. When Reddit users on rCalibanging, the premier forum for keeping track of California's gang politics, was asked to describe Stockton, California, they weren't shy to brutally slam the city. Unfortunately, this will be the stomping ground for some of California's most talented, wild, and unforgiving rap groups. As the Valley Club Records YouTube channel puts it, after spending a weekend with the group, these guys were cut from an entirely different cloth. If Sparta had rappers, these guys would be them.
From spending time around those guys, one thing became abundantly clear. These guys were cut from an entirely different cloth. If Sparta had rappers, these guys would be them.
The EBK Hot Boys, as they were officially...
Sparta is 300. Them niggas is 300. They had to fight Rome or some shit. Rome had about 100 thou with them. Right. So these niggas are the motherfuckers showing up 300 deep, taking on the whole city. Some bold niggas. Right. I'm just trying to paint the picture of what the fuck I just heard. Right. Alright, yeah.
Time around those guys, one thing became abundantly clear. These guys were cut from an entirely different cloth. If Sparta had rappers, these guys would be them.
The EBK Hot Boys, as they were officially named, the group EBK come from the southeast Stockton area, specifically 2100 Nightingale Avenue.
What's up, man? We in the southeast Nightingale. Finna take y'all through the hood one time, you feel me? Yeah, come on. Right now though, blood, we on 7th Street. We got like 4 blocks on this side. There's 2 sides. There's Deuce 1 and there's Deuce 4. That's on the other side though. Right now we on Deuce 1. We 2-1. Right here, 7th Street though. Here we gonna go to Brother Block. Juju, where you at, brother?
EBK backed up.
Where you at, brother?
We on Bel Air now, man. Check this out, man.
We on Bel Air now.
Man, God.
This area is deep-rooted in crime, and after a simple Google search, the results pretty much speak for themselves. EBK members often have a signature shag haircut, which can be seen on the back of EBK J-Bo and Young Slowby's heads, and they often repeat the terms Southeast, Nightingale, or 21.
Yeah, 9U.
Alright, brother, 21. Southeast, free play.
But interestingly, EBK has a whole lot of members, many of whom don't even rap. So that we can cover the most notable members, firstly, you've got EBK J-Bo. Real name Jaymani Gorman, J-Bo reps EBK to the fullest, with his neck tattooed with Southeast EBK.
Shots got that in the house like he on quarantine.
So the minute you step in, people notice you?
Yeah, for sure. As soon as I come in, you know, I got Southeast EBK on my neck. And so as soon as I come in, yelling, oh, J-Bo, oh, what's up with the blood? You feel me? What's up with the blood? You feel me? I know niggas in there.
Currently, EBK J-Bo is one of the main rappers flying the flag for all of the West Coast, with recent bangers like Boogeyman getting tons of hype online. In the song, J-Bo raps about wanting all the smoke and popping up on his ops like the Boogeyman, where J-Bo seemingly admits to having a body and asks anyone who doesn't to calm down. He would collaborate with Southern and New York rappers like Lil Rai and BBG Stepper on the remix of Chris Brown's Gimme That. He currently has the most exposure for any rapper coming out of Stockton, but sadly, he's got a pattern of being constantly arrested and sent back to jail for violence and gun cases.
What'd you get locked up for that time around?
Another shooting, but it wasn't like
another shooting. I don't think we talked about a shooting yet.
Yeah, we didn't talk about the first one.
I was down for this time, but
what was okay? What was that first shooting that you got locked up for?
I was 15. That's a closed case too. We was at school, got weird. Suckers trying to jump shit. She got on. We was at school though, feel me? So the principal see me, so he told on me. The principal told him.
Oh, the principal seen you get busy on it?
Yeah, the principal see me get busy though, but you know, really wasn't trying to hit nothing back then though. So they just chalked it as to just like
shooting into a dwelling,
discharging a firearm. That's what it pleaded to. And in juvenile hall, bro, that's like go to camp for that.
That's facts.
But I was
3-month program type.
But I was fighting hella though, so
you was getting refiled.
Exactly, I couldn't go to camp. You feel me? Kept catching extra days, so they just gave me like 720 days, and then end up doing like 2 years or like a year and some change.
So this before you dropping?
This is before this. Last time I just went to jail. This is when I just got out and dropped step the hardest and.
You was in jail right before that, yeah.
I was in juvenile hall.
Oh yeah, so you was.
He said, you know, niggas weren't really trying to hit nothing back then. You know, you could just. Why would he lie about that? You know, so I'm already knowing he telling the truth, right? Instead of some rapper would have got on here and got to just stun crazy or lying, nigga J-Bo, you know, and he ain't had to give him that. You feel me? He ain't had to say give him that.
Was in the hall, so you gaining some traction in school. You feel me?
Yeah.
So when you was in school, so what's that? 15?
Yeah,
15. Then you go down.
A pattern apparently stemming all the way back from his adolescent years, where J-Bo was always the youngest and arguably most wild person in his crew. For example, there was a time where apparently J-Bo and his crew were pulled over for a regular traffic stop due to their front windows being too tinted. But it seems that the crew was stopped partway through a potential drill, as the police would find a number of automatic rifles and even some ghost guns. Guns with some or all of their parts made by 3D printing, produced privately, and completely untraceable. J-Bo's arrest record can be found online, and it is serious, with numerous charges such as possessing firearms whilst on probation and having extended
Terrorism. Bro, the nigga that calls himself the Boogeyman. Hold on, bro. Hold on, man. The nigga that calls himself the Boogeyman got arrested for terrorism. It's crazy. I might have to blur that. On some, yeah. YouTube be acting weird, picking and choosing and shit. But anyway, man. Hell yeah.
And magazines, and even the ominous sounding street terrorism. In J-Bo's No Jumper interviews, he's fresh home from county jail in both of them, which are just about a year apart.
Bro, I'm happy to be alive.
That's right. Nah, for real.
Be home, be alive, bro. For sure, there ain't no reason to walk around this month.
That's right.
Southeast.
Yeah, how long you been home for?
What's today?
The 9th?
The 9th.
30 days today.
Last time we interviewed you, it was under the influence of the fact that you had just got out from doing some time, facing a charge, and now here we are, same thing. You were just locked up for a while.
Yeah, like 6 months.
6 months?
Yeah, 6 months.
What happened?
You know, a little misunderstanding. Got pulled over. They tried to say something about some guns, allegedly. I don't know, it's crazy.
So there weren't any guns, or there were?
That's what they said. I don't know nothing though.
And you're especially not supposed to be around that kind of thing because you're on a...
Yeah, nah. Ain't supposed to be around no guns, so they charged me couple gang enhancements, but I got bail.
I mean, you could get caught littering and there'd be a gang enhancement at this point, huh?
Yeah, for sure.
He even had to graduate high school from the juvenile hall.
You graduate?
Yeah, I graduated.
Really?
I graduated in juvenile hall.
You wore the cap and gown and all that?
Yep, I took a picture, but I didn't like have no graduation or nothing.
You didn't walk down and do the ceremony?
He was in jail.
I was in jail.
Oh, all right, yeah.
Yeah, I was in jail, but I did it though.
J-Bo would constantly give details about his time spent inside jail, with him apparently dishing out countless fades.
So how was it? How was the
jail
this time around? Yeah.
Regular couple fades here and there, you know.
Same old.
Yeah, a couple fades, but I was chilling this time.
Bro, this one motherfucker on TikTok I be watching, bro. I ain't seen him fight yet, though. But I swear to God, bro, he be in L.A. trying to catch a few fades. He'll go to like the famous hoods too. Everybody tell him to pull up the I ain't about to name one, but I know him. I don't know, man. I just like every time I hear the word fade now, I instantly think of that bullshit. I ain't seen him fight yet though, man. That nigga talking about he catch fades here, there. That shit be funny.
Countless fades.
So how was it? How was the
jail
this time around? Yeah.
Regular couple fades here and there, you know.
Same old.
Yeah, a couple fades, but I was chilling this time. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't really had to fade a lot of because I already had faded a lot of last time I was in there.
And you earned your respect that time around?
Something like that. You feel me?
It's the same every time. You know, you're gonna go in there, you're gonna run some fades, and then eventually you're gonna get to like a pod or somewhere where it's cool programming in there. You feel me? Probably catch a few fades, but nothing too serious though. It's regular. You chilling in there.
How many fades you run this time?
I ran like I only ran like 4 this time, 4 or 5.
Okay. Not too bad for 6 months.
Yeah, nah, not too bad. And I ran on those when I first had got in too. So.
And how does it start? Does people just start running their mouth, or?
I mean, it's like intake. You feel me? Everybody in the rooms, and so you know the porter will come and tell you like who in there or something, or you would just get popped out and see it. Like, okay, we gonna get that in Southeast. Yeah. You feel me? Be like, we gonna get that in the corner, or get that in the cell, and then that be that. You feel me? They do their thing, you do your thing after that.
But always with the honesty, J-Bo would even break times that he had lost jail fights.
God
damn. Don't say lose fights. It is what it is. I ain't get knocked out, drop. I ain't get black eye, none of that.
And do you win all these fights, or sometimes you don't get your way?
I mean, you feel me? You gonna lose some, you gonna win some in the county. You know, I ain't gonna act like I just whoop every, but I don't lose a lot. Southeast, but you feel me? I don't win every fight though. Nah, you feel me? But
that's real. Most sit on camera and say they 80-0.
Yeah, nah, I ain't gonna sit on camera and act like I'm 80-0.
I remember
you feel me? I remember
the little loud niggas used to tell back in the day. My hands are registered. And you know how history be repeating themselves and shit. I bet you this motherfuckers walking around saying that shit to this day. To this motherfucking day. Stupid ass shit, man. Nah, but look though, man. You know how some shit you don't know nothing. You don't know nothing. You don't even think about the shit. But when you find out it was a lot from the get-go, it got you like.
in my match a couple times. I'm in my match a couple times though, but don't know though. I'm gonna hit it with something he gonna remember.
Like this time in the county jail, where he fought a giant brolic gangster called Seawalk from a rival hood 44G from the townhome neighborhood. J-Bo explained that he was on a recent case and released from the hole after hitting a police officer. When he came back to the halls, he saw the massive Seawalk, and when they approached each other, Seawalk said, F Southeast, which caused the two to organize a fade, or fight. And this actually led to them fighting on 3 separate occasions.
Maybe I get there, they put me in red. You feel me? That's high risk because I caught the little case for hitting the police, so they had to put me in red. So I had to stay in the hole for like 5 months. So I got out the hole, boom. My first week, intake 1 on my mama. I get in there. I'm in there with Ray Cash on my mama. That's my celly. I get in there, a big ass walk in there. I see the in the window. I'm like, oh, he did. See, he walk in. I'm like, bro, I know that's the town. Brother, like, yeah, that's woo-woo out. That's Seawalk. I'm like, all right, it's hood. Boom. We come out. Bro ain't say nothing to me. I ain't say nothing to him either. You feel me? The quacky there in hell, he on my mama. He ain't say nothing to me either.
He tried to instant his DM. He tried to instant hit me in my DM.
Look, long story boring though. Brett staring at me. I'm staring at him. Whatever the case may be. I push up on like, what's up? He like, yeah, I'm Seawalk, cuz townhomes. I'm like, J-Bo, Southeast, nigga, EBK. Get like the Southeast. Look, I'm thinking in my head. I'm like, Southeast. I'm like, he turned on the hood. I'm like, yep, it's good. I need that. We get to the yard.
Man,
mind you, Mind you, I didn't even know blood was that big. I'm so in the mode, like, you feel me?
Cap, no
on
cap.
The hood. Push
All
the money.
facts. Hey, all facts. I'm not joking vouch for it.
Look, hold on. Look, I'm not even knowing the hella big. So we get to the yard or whatever the case may be, bro. We finna get down. Then he like, bro, it's high right now, so we gonna fade in the morning, bro. Or unless you want to go to the hoe. I'm like, bro, I ain't trying to go to the hoe. We gonna fade in the morning. Whatever the case may be, we come out the next day. He pushed up on everybody. I ain't gonna lie. The turn, he pushed up on me like, bro. He shake my hand. He like, where you from? Where you from? Where you from? All the show me where you from. I'm like, bro, I ain't gonna lie. I feel like I'm on some soft, like I'm not trying to fade him. So I'm like, I ain't gonna lie, bro. When the Mexicans done doing it on the yard, we gotta go get that out the way. I ain't gonna lie. He like, cuz we can get that out. He like, cuz we can get that out the way right now. I'm like, it's good. So we get on the yard. I ain't gonna lie, he with me. Boom, whatever the case may be. Blood ain't drive me, knock me out, none of that. Set. I ain't deal slug. He with me though, on blood. He with me. Long story short, he shake my hand like, yep, on my mama, I respect you. We go to the room. He come to my door like, hey, I ain't gonna lie, buddy. All your homies turned it down, but you turn. I'm like, bro, I'm not gonna speak on the homies. They not here, but I can only speak for myself. He like, yep, that's cool. He like, but you scratch my eye, cuz you want to go again, and I keep it a band. I'm like, I ain't gonna lie, bro. We can program. He like, nah, I ain't gonna lie. I need that. I'm like, it's good. I ain't turning shit down. So we get out there tomorrow, smoking, and bro waiting for me. He like, you feel me, like, what you want to smoke first? And I'm like, I ain't gonna lie. I feel like blood trying to make it seem like I'm trying to postpone it or whatever. So I'm like, okay, we can get that out the way. He with me again. I ain't gonna lie.
Damn.
Blood with me again. Then after that, he like,
God damn. The honesty I'm fucked up about. Why you telling this? What made him tell this story?
Like, let's go again. Sam Quacky, this, DGK, did this, that, that. We got down again. He with me again. He with me again. After that program, called the fade, though.
In another interview, J-Bo is asked what was the first thing you did since coming home, to which J-Bo replies, I think I bent a block or two.
What was the first thing you did when you got out?
I think I bent a block or two.
Now this guy's got no fear about moving or talking hot or getting into trouble in the streets. Clearly J-Bo is a certified menace, but when looking into his early years, there may be a deeper explanation for his behaviour. J-Bo was born and raised in southeast Stockton, right in 2100 Nightingale.
So you were born in Stockton?
Yeah, born and raised, for sure.
What was your upbringing like?
Coming up in Stockton, I mean, it was cool. Like I said, it was Stockton boring, you feel me? It don't be a lot of going on. It's a lot of violence, but as far as the upbringing, we was cool, you know.
Nightingale's environment clearly had a massive impact on J-Bo, who later released songs such as I Am Nightingale, where J-Bo raps about being posted on the J because Nightingale Street is shaped like the letter J and rolling up his dead ops there. He even references how he popped an op before he ever made a song and calls Nightingale the home of the killers. Now J-Bo originally lived with both of his parents. His mother worked at the juvenile hall, whilst his father Rari was a prominent figure in the neighborhood and was even a poppin' rapper from the area.
But as far as the upbringing, we was cool. You know, my mom used to work at the juvenile hall.
Okay. You had both parents?
Yeah, for a minute. You know, my pops passed away. Rest in peace, Rory. I mean, that's why I said.
When you were what age?
I was 11, probably like 10, turning 11.
So y'all had a good relationship before?
Yeah,
then,
we was tight for sure.
Right.
Like, that was like my best friend for sure. Keep it lit in every song.
Man, rest in peace.
How'd he pass?
Sure.
He got shot. My mom, he got popped like 2015.
But unlike many others from the blood-dominated Nightingale, Rari himself was a Crip.
Was y'all already Bloods before?
Yeah.
And then you threw it on?
Everybody was Bloods. It was just a couple Crips. My pop's a Crip though.
But sadly in 2015, Rari would tragically lose his life to gunfire whilst allegedly protecting his son J-Bo, marking the first homicide in 2015 within Stockton. J-Bo was just 10 years old at the time and had been robbed by 2 teenagers in the local area. He reported back to his father, who went to confront the boys over the robbery. They then drew their guns, shooting Rari and killing him. At such a young age, J-Bo was made to witness the volatile and treacherous streets of Stockton, with his father being murdered by teenagers just over protecting his son. Rari was a positive role model in the neighborhood and has even released music about the social issues within the community, commemorating a friend who was unjustly killed by the police.
They broke his arm, then they shot him 7 times from the neck to the torso, and it was not right.
Heartbreakingly, just 2 days before his murder, Rari had received a letter confirming he had completed his 7-year parole. He was on a path to change his and his family's life, and had he still been around, J-Bo might have had a completely different life, perhaps staying on a straighter path. But within just 2 years after his father's murder, J-Bo would turn to the streets and begin participating in criminal activity.
When I got in the field, it was hectic for sure. For my little 7 years being like thugging, hectic.
And sadly, a pattern of violence seems to chase this family generation through generation, as Rari himself would suffer the loss of his father, but not to murder, this time to the justice system, as Rari's father was actually convicted after beating a woman to death with a baseball bat. Now, I'm not condoning that by any means, but what I am saying is that growing up with that going on in your life is going to change everything. Now, J-Bo has dedicated music to his own late father, releasing songs like Lil Rari when he was just 15, where J-Bo visits his father's grave, and more recently, Rari Forever on his latest project Sinner's Prayer, as well as an album with the same name in 2022.
When Pops passed, my mindset wasn't just like, oh, my Pop's gone, okay, I'm in the field. It just transitioned into that, like, I can't even tell you how it happened, bro, because it's just like I'm thugged out now, it's regular now. But I honestly don't know. I can't tell you, bro. It's just one day, I just remember, like, right now, I just remember one day it was like innocent kid, and then next day, thugged out.
Following his father's death, J-Bo would begin getting booked at juvenile hall the very next year in 2016, making him just around age 12 or 13 at the time.
Nah, when about time I hopped in the field, you know me, because I'm not no fake, bro. I'm not gonna act like I just been in the field
right whole life.
Yeah, bro. About time I hopped in the field, my mom had already retired because my pops. I'm 19 right now, so my pops died 2015. I wasn't in the field yet, bro. So like, I started going to juvenile hall probably like 2016.
Right.
You feel me? Then mom's was already gone. So, but all the staff knew my mom though. You feel me? So,
really? So you had juice?
Yeah, I had juice a little bit, but they didn't know, like, just because y'all know my mama know me, y'all know me.
Right.
So they expected a lot more from me because they knew my mom. But I'm in there acting out, and they calling my mom like, man, what's up with your son? He beating people up, taking people food, and
thugging.
Yeah, I'm not knowing though that's kind of disrespectful to moms because she got a name.
Right, because she know them,
yeah,
your
I'm
son
young,
in
though,
here
so
acting
I'm just
up.
like, mama, this is what I'm doing, I'm thugging.
J-Bo would explain he originally was stealing cars because he found it cool. He would find any car and drive it straight to cool to flex on the girls there. But eventually, this led to him getting caught up in a case.
What kind of were you getting into that had you going to juvenile hall that young?
I was like, when I first like hopped in the field, I was into stealing cars, I ain't gonna lie.
You what is it, bipping?
Nah, I wasn't bipping. Like,
you were a Kia boy?
We bipped, we got to that. But like when I first started, like I was really in
bipping, California lingo.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Bay Area 101. And today, I'll be teaching you all about bipping. Ladies and gentlemen, this picture here will strike fear in the eyes of any Bay Area resident. This picture right here, look at anybody in the Bay Area right now. Look at their face. Sweat. Stomachs grumbling. Goosebumps on their neck. And they sweating. You come to the Bay Area and you get out of your car, everything should get out of your car with you. You should almost take your car out the car with you when you get out the car to make sure you don't get bit. A lot of out-of-towners wondering what is bipping. Bipping is basically push the window in, grab all your stuff.
Stupid as hell. Talk about you should take the car outside the car. So basically it's stealing. Shout out to the Bay Area. Bip.
taking cars like that. It just was hella cool to me. I don't know why. Like I be walking, like my first case I caught, the case closed, I already got the time for it. I just seen a car, I hopped in that mama.
And just did your Dougie.
Got up out of there and went to school.
In the next few years, J-Bo would begin hanging with other EBK members, eventually seeing the collective being formed around 2016.
But as I start like getting in the field, start like EBK, made EBK like 2016, 15 or something like that. I hopped in the field like 2016, so it's like that's when I started going for sure. Feel me, on some cousin banging EBK.
EBK, or Everybody Killer, usually means that a certain set will beef every gang in their area, even if they're the same faction. For example, if you're a blood set that beefs other bloods, as well as the Rollin' 60 Crips, as well as the Hoovers in LA, we could call you EBK, Everybody Killer. Or in Chicago, some sets might be GD and have beef with other BDs and GDs, considering themselves to be Everybody Killers. Now, this definition has caused a lot of confusion online, but J-Bo cleared this up with Adam22, explaining that EBK is the actual name of their set.
You're not from the hood.
Yeah, because I'm
But you tell me if I'm wrong, but in some cities, if you're saying I'm EBK, that just means you beef with everybody.
Right,
yeah,
now they made it a
clique, we really was on some like, we're really EBK, like this, we really pressing this.
And originally everyone was a member of the Bloods, but they ultimately changed to rep EBK.
Was y'all already Bloods before?
Yeah.
And then you threw it on.
Everybody was Bloods. It was just a couple Crips.
Now, J-Bo allegedly had multiple cases stemming from his early years involving burglary, firearms, and even an attempted murder. However, due to his age and being a juvenile, there's no trace of this online. After being released from his first lengthy sentence, J-Bo created his first song with other EBK members titled Dog Dada. He was just 15 at the time, but he was showing a lot of promise for a serious rap career. The song featured J-Bo rapping about loving gunpowder and being from Night-Afghanistan, and he would also feature on the first EBK group song, the Sweet Lady remix, which was a remix to a classic track by LA legend 03 Greedo.
And on the song, J-Bo mentioned getting active after some suckers killed his father. And the next notable member from EBK, who arguably had the most promise in music from the gang, is Young Slowby. Although he doesn't have EBK in his artist name, it's hard to say Slowby is not part of the collective, with some disputing it online claiming that he's from another set, but Slowby is a long-time member of the musical group EBK and even appeared on one of their first group songs, the EBK Anthem, where Slowby raps about putting ops in body bags and running the south of Stockton. Coming from the exact same neighbourhood as J-Bo, Nightingale, Slowby is proud of his block, as seen from the large southeast tattoo that runs across his back. Slowby explained that the neighbourhood always had a reputation that inspired the youngsters in the streets, that they made it something that the masses was aware of. Slowby then mentions how everybody who knows Nightingale can holler at him. When asked his age in an interview, Slowby took his chance to shout out his block, channeling his inner Chief Keef, claiming that he's 2100. Again, similar to J-Bo, Slowby grew up around music being in his family. His uncle was a local musician in San Diego, with his father also being a rapper, but both of them never really took off. With Slowby's father...
I was about to ask, who was his uncle? But didn't he say legend? Legend? A local musical legend. I just wanted to hear what he was, you know what I mean? What he had going.
Musician in San Diego, with his father also being a rapper, but both of them never really took off, with Slowby's father also being heavily involved in the streets, causing him to be raised by women. Slowby claims his father only taught him street, limiting the options for a young Slowby, but eventually he found a way to display his creativity. Young Slowby had been releasing music since 2018 with his first single Hunted Proof. However, it wasn't until his collaboration with Sacramento rapper Briss until he began getting serious motion across the West Coast. Slow and Briss released their banger 2142, which amassed millions of views and streams for the duo, with the duo rapping about doing drills and hitting ops in the neck, and Briss repping his Fruit Ridge 42 blood connections and Slow B repping 21. This single gave great exposure to Stockton in general, as the city rarely had any shine and people outside were unaware of the rappers that were doing their thing there. More specifically, Young Slowby's original style was very unique, with some similarities to legendary South Central LA rapper Draco the Ruler, with him choosing to rap in a style that sounds almost as if he's kinda talking to the listener rather than rapping, with his lyrics usually following tales of him gangbanging and being an actual pimp. But becoming a collaborator with...
We ain't do no music. I was sitting here just trying to, you know, because every song you talk about, I'm trying to at least see if I can goddamn remember what the fuck it
Briss gave Slow B some new problems, as in Sacramento, Briss was beefing with different sets and rappers, Uzi Marcus and Mozzie, who is now signed to Yo Gotti's CMG label, with Uzi Marcus being known for releasing extremely disrespectful songs, and his brother, who committed murders on Instagram Live. Slow B got involved in this beef when he caught a member of Mozzie's crew putting them on camera and making them say Mozzie K. But we'll get into that later. Young Slowby was very active in music, and throughout 2019 to 2022, he would drop multiple projects a year, flooding the streets with music, all of which included very high quality lyrics and production. From his mixtape series Slowby Bryant, and releases like 2100 Shell Cases and Borona, clearly Slowby didn't like using C's due to his blood heritage. In 2021, with the release of Slowby Bryant 3, his fame would skyrocket, with his pimping anthem I Love You ultimately going viral on TikTok, and the banger Unforgivable with Draco the Ruler being his most viewed song to this day, with arguably his best produced track from his frequent EBK collab, producer Puda21, who makes dreamy, lean-inspired beats which are always easy to identify with his iconic Beastie Boys tag Stick'em. In the song, Slowby reps 2100 and says that if you claim 21, you better apply pressure to their ops, who rep 5 and the Flyboys. Although he was certified in the streets, Slowby had a formula for success in music and was creating banger after banger, putting on for Stockton. Next up in the crew, you've got EBK Young Jock, who also is one of the top rappers from the crew, with an extensive music catalogue of his own. Young Jock's history within EBK is a little more shaky, as there have been some claims that Young Jock is from the Bay Area, which he alludes to himself in interviews.
What was it like growing up in Nightingale?
I mean, I ain't really grow up out there like that, you feel me? But you feel me? I started being around there because my brothers and them, like the group we been around. So you feel me?
Yeah.
I started being around there. You feel me? I like way grew up in Oakland. You feel me?
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Where at?
In the East.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
But he stands on the fact that he reps Stockton and not the Bay.
Now, Stockton, that's where you grew up at, right? When I hear about
the Bay Area,
too. Okay, so you've been back and forth.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do you claim mostly? Just
Stockton.
Both?
Stockton, hell. Can't do that, hell no, just Stockton, hell.
But just like the other members, Young Jock had his fair share of incidents in the streets, some almost costing his life. Jock would explain that he'd been shot 5 times.
Stockton really get busy.
It can get crazy, but like, I never speak on it. Like, I done been shot 5 times, you feel me? Like, on my mom, like, it can get wicked down there. Oh God, you can get up in that jam. It can get weird down there.
Just like J-Bo, Jock turned to the streets at the young age of around 12 or 13.
Yeah, and at what age did you turn to the streets?
13 to 12, like 12 to 13.
And Jock's brothers with EBK member Hari B. Both brothers have caused a lot of tension and issues for the gang, with allegations of them not even coming from Stockton, and even worse, possible snitching, which we'll get into later. Other notable members are EBK Juvie Jew, EBK Osama, who is J-Bo's older cousin, EBK Mad Max, EBK Lil Play, who was allegedly involved in several murders for the crew. EBK J-Bo often shouts out Lil Play and allows him to speak from a jail phone in his Say Cheese interview.
What's up with the name, bro? Brother, talk your bro. Free play, Southeast.
On my mama, freaking Southeast, though. Feel me? They trying to label us as a gang. It's just strictly family, though.
On my mama, bro. I'll let you though, brother. Call me after this interview, though, brother.
Yeah, 9 years.
All right, brother, 2-1.
But anyway, now you know the people involved, let's take a closer look at the deadly war in Stockton. With a name like EBK, it's safe to assume that they have more enemies than allies in the city. Firstly, they're beefing with the north of Stockton, 44G, a set of North Stockton Crips located around the 4400 Townhome Drive area that's around 7 miles or a 15-minute drive from EBK's southeast Nightingale Hood. The 44G are known to throw up the fours, which makes sense considering that EBK are often seen cracking or dropping fours, making them 44K or 44 Killers. EBK also beef another Northside set called NSGC, otherwise known as the Northside Gangster Crips. This is a much larger and more notable set, and one of the reasons is Jeremy Meeks, who's a notable member from the set, whose mugshot went viral, leading him to a prosperous modeling career.
Was forced to learn very fast about the neighborhoods and the colors, and so yeah, I started gangbanging really early. Ended up in juvenile hall, ended up getting shot a couple times. From there to prison, spent a lot of years in prison.
This gang was one of the largest in Stockton and was gaining a lot of attention from the police. Eventually a huge gang bust would come down, with 23 of their members going to prison. The investigation took months, with several teams monitoring the gang closely. At least 4 shootings, several robberies, weapons violations and narcotic sales were witnessed in the operation.
Today, Stockton's police chief, the district attorney and other agencies announced the
witnessed is insane work. They had to watch that shit. Them boys are good as gone. Yeah.
Arrest of several Northside Gangster Crips street gang members.
That the Northside Gangster Crips were involved in at least 4 shooting incidents.
Officers served warrants to 16 areas of the city, including here on Strickland Drive in Stockton, where they arrested a San Joaquin County Sheriff's Correctional Officer. 31-year-old Ashley Johnson is in Stanislaus County Jail with no bail.
Aiding, assisting criminal offenders.
We were extremely disheartened that anybody from the sheriff's office under any circumstances would be involved in any kind of criminal activity.
12 people from Stockton arrested, 11 people from Reno arrested. 8 of those suspects are documented Northside Gangster Crips. Police Chief Eric Jones says the investigation found some of the gang members were buying drugs in Stockton and taking them to Reno to sell, and then buying guns in Reno and bringing them to Stockton to sell or to use in gang activity.
It is alleged these individuals were responsible for the sale of illegal guns, illegal narcotics, drive-by shootings, and armed robberies.
That the Northside Gangster Crips were involved in at least 4 shooting incidents that would have otherwise have gone possibly unreported and unsolved.
The operation came to a head on Wednesday after a round of raids throughout the city.
And all I heard is, boom, police.
This man says officers rushed into his home early in the morning.
They said we're looking for guns and weapons.
Officers made 15 additional stops throughout the city, seizing cocaine, heroin, prescription drugs, and firearms. 12 people were arrested in Stockton, but the search didn't end there.
These subjects were then driving to Nevada and selling the narcotics at a much higher price than could be sold for in Stockton.
Nearly 200 miles away, investigators found more drugs and guns in Reno and arrested 11 more people. The investigation uncovered the alleged involvement of a San Joaquin County correctional officer, 31-year-old Ashley Johnson.
And because she was arrested for felony charges, her employment with the sheriff's office was terminated, and we were very disheartened at that activity.
Johnson faces various narcotics and conspiracy charges. Her connection to the gang is still under investigation.
Now, the DA had a message for the family members of some of these gang members. She urged them to reconsider the consequences of gang involvement and reach out to the city for various programs and support to try to find a different direction.
What an elaborate operation. Thank you for that live report. Mason Jenkins in Stockton tonight.
2019, the beef between EBK and their Northside rivals became very active after EBK members were caught up in a serious case. On May the 1st, 2019, at around 5:30 p.m, EBK members drove to 700 East March Lane, where they spotted 34-year-old Ronald Celestine. They shot Celestine on site, where he would later be pronounced dead in hospital. No immediate arrests were made, so naturally, it would be assumed that EBK would lay low following the murder. But just days later, they chose to crash out in a horrendous mass shooting. A vigil was being held for Ronald Celestine at around 7:45 p.m, when EBK members would again pull up and begin firing into the crowd. 5 people were shot, all above the age of 30, and sadly, a 34-year-old named Benny Lott was later pronounced dead at hospital.
Then he hit us with the, you'll think they'll want to lay low. Have you heard of J-Bo song? Nigga. Fuck.
He was said to be the cousin of Ronald Celestine.
It's business as usual for this shopping center behind us here as police continue to sort through what happened last night. They say they believe somebody opened fire on a group of people right behind us here as they were holding a vigil mourning the loss of somebody that was killed in this same exact spot Wednesday night.
Enough is enough. We need to bring some type of relief to this area.
They say lightning never strikes twice, but it's a much different story in Stockton.
There was a vigil for a homicide victim that was going on right across the street from where we're at, because earlier in the week we did have a homicide that occurred right in this neighborhood.
34-year-old Ronald Celestine was killed in broad daylight next to this shopping center on Wednesday. And as his friends gathered to remember him, 5 more people were shot in the same place, leaving another 34-year-old man dead. Police now saying both shootings are connected and both have ties to gangs.
And the next day, the police would deem that these 2 murders were indeed connected. Following these back-to-back shootings and murders, police sparked a massive investigation against EBK, eventually leading to several arrests on June the 20th, 2019. EBK were found to be involved in numerous criminal activities, from homicide, assault, weapon trafficking, narcotics, and even pimping and human trafficking. 9 people were arrested, 2 specifically for the murder of Ronald Celestine, but EBK's beef wasn't limited to just the north of Stockton, and the next opposing set is arguably EBK's most deep rivalry, and also their closest neighbours, the Trap Mob, aka the Flyboys. Trap Mob, just like EBK, are located on the south of Stockton, specifically on Scribner Street, which is around 1 mile or 3 minutes drive from Nightingale, EBK's block. Similar to Chicago gang beefs, this puts both gangs at a very dangerous proximity to each other, and allegedly, this beef started when Trap Mob, who were already an established set and didn't like hearing that the new EBK set was being formed close to their territory, especially due to several EBK members allegedly not even being from the southeast, such as Young Jock, who was apparently from Oakland, and Slow B, who was originally from San Diego. Trap Mob would actually mention this in their song AA, where rapper 20 Main raps San Diego, how the F you turn 21, North Oakland, how the F you turn 21, West Lane, how the F you turn 21. Now the beef runs deep with these gangs, and this is arguably
So these motherfuckers is less than a mile. What was a 3-minute walk? 4-minute walk? What was that, bro? Oh, a 3-minute car ride. My bad. It's a 20-minute walk. 3-minute car ride. Crazy. And then hold up. Hold it. Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. If you look at the map, okay, hold on. Scribner Street. Cause I'm thinking it was over by the highway, but hell, you do all that, goddamn. This shit is crazy. Did not know this about the Stockton area. New information, this is
dangerous proximity to each other, and allegedly, this beef started when Trap Mob, who were already an established set and didn't like hearing that the new EBK set was being formed close to their territory, especially due to several EBK members allegedly not even being from the southeast, such as Young Jock, who was apparently from Oakland, and Slow B, who was originally from San Diego. Trap Mob would actually mention this in their song AA, where rapper 20 Main raps San Diego, how the F you turn 21, North Oakland, how the F you turn 21, West Lane, how the F you turn 21. Now the beef runs deep with these gangs,
And this is arguably EBK's biggest war, and this is observed in multiple back and forths that have remained in music, with EBK J-Bo dissing Flyboys on damn near every song, with some song titles even being a diss to the gang, such as Fly Exterminator, where J-Bo is making it very known that he kills members of Flyboys, rapping "Somebody got a fly gone" and leaving his eye on his lap, as well as on No Fly Zone, where J-Bo claims to be fresh off a drill and spinning through Trap Mob's neighborhood, claiming that they drop like flies, or on Slow B Mode, where J-Bo raps that he's trying to hurt a fly, even threatening his ops' mothers, telling them to stay inside or he'll kill them. J-Bo also mentions spinning through Scribner Street, and in the song The Apocalypse, J-Bo further disses the flies, where he disses the mob and claims that he's dropping the fly. He would mention spanking mob members and even threatens to purchase the block of houses in their rivals' 44G neighborhood townhomes. There are countless of other disses from J-Bo towards the Flyboys. Even on his song with Alabama rapper Lil Rai called Casualty, he raps about how he's been at war with the Fly since he was 17 and how he'll send a blitz at the mob. Young Slowby also dissed the gang on his biggest track with Draco the Ruler, where he raps "F it and get on the fly." EBK Stick also has a song named Fly K, but Trap Mob has many rappers of their own who have released several EBK disses, such as Trap Mob Los and Marley B's earlier mentioned track AA, or Marley B's track Top Op. On Top Op, Marley B's mentions spinning through 2100 Nightingale, trying to find his ops and dissing EBK Young Jock. J-Bo has trolled Marley B's by playing the song on Instagram Live. Marley B's has a very directly titled song named simply EBK J-Bo Diss. Now this war is deadly, and apparently several bodies have been dropped between both gangs, which we're going to get into later. Both crews have a deep hatred of each other, and clearly there's no plans to let up on their ops anytime soon. From 2018 onwards, EBK kept moving as a collective, with their hype and fame getting...
And I ain't heard the song, but just to name your shit strictly that is crazy, in my opinion.
Larger and larger. Other than losses to the streets and members being in and out of prison, things were looking positive for EBK, but in 2021, one major case would land, causing a huge divide within the group. In 2021, EBK Osama, EBK J-Bo's older cousin, and EBK Ahari B, EBK Young Jock's older brother, had both gotten wrapped up in a serious case, with both members being charged with a Bay Area robbery of around $4,000, where there was also a shooting involved in the incident. If convicted, the pair would be looking to serve around 20 years in prison, and the robbery dates all the way back to 2018, when they met up with someone from Craigslist to barter a purchase of $4,000 worth of weed. The sellers left to get the dope, but when the EBK members stayed, they attempted to rob him. After the seller managed to escape, he was shot multiple times by Moore whilst Lot robbed him. Lot had already been serving time during this trial for pimping, and during trial proceedings, it was alleged that Hari B had snitched on EBK Osama to get less time. In an unreleased song, EBK J-Bo would rap that Hari turned rat, he couldn't take the heat, they told him 20 years, he started eating cheese. This apparently led J-Bo and his closest members to disown Hari B, labelling him as a rat. However, EBK Young Jock would side with his own brother.
Mentioning a lot in your songs, so who is Hari B to you?
Hari B, that's my blood brother, that's my big brother.
This would then cause EBK to split into two groups, the original EBK, which was J-Bo's side, and Young Jock's new EBK, which was standing for Every Brother Counts. In an interview, Young Jock would actually confirm this.
EBK stand for Every Brother Count, but you feel me, we got two sides of the group, feel me? Everybody killing. Every brother count, feel me?
While throwing shots at J-Bo. EBK Trey B also disputed the claims of Hari B snitching.
Bro ain't tell on nobody. Bro ain't snitch on nobody. Ain't no to go to jail behind what he said or none of that type.
And Young Slow B would also choose sides in the beef, even dissing EBK Osama on his track Stay On Point. Slow B mentions the in-house beef and his regret for hanging out with a weird Crip dude, which is clearly directed towards EBK Osama, as he was one of the only Crips within EBK. This split would intensify when EBK J-Bo went live with the mother of Slow B's child, with people in the comments bashing J-Bo for doing something so disrespectful, with her then going live and alluding to having slept with J-Bo.
I don't give a if I got caught his real brother. I don't give a
J-Bo would then send further shots at his former EBK members on the unreleased track Mind of a Madman, where he raps, "Don't matter if he didn't say no names, it's still a statement." He then says, "I'm the real EBK that other dudes knew." But the story began shifting when EBK Trey B posted a screenshot of papers that allegedly proved that it was actually Osama that snitched. The separate sides would then begin hanging with gangs from different cities that were enemies, specifically in the Bay Area, with this creating even more tension, with the beef getting deeper and more serious as time went on. For example, J-Bo would link up with Mozzie from Sacramento, who was sworn enemies with Briss, who's a frequent collaborator with EBK Young Jock and Slowby. J-Bo would begin hanging out and collaborating with stubby members from Oakland, such as Ace Rico and Short 200. EBK Young Jock would then begin hanging with Case Gang, which is Stubby's rivals. And at some point, EBK members began to rehash their relationship, possibly work towards putting this issue to the side. But then, the following year, just when things appeared to be getting closer to a reunion for EBK, an enormous tragedy would strike.
As mentioned earlier, Slow B gained most of his traction when he linked up with Sacramento blood rapper Briss. As the two were blowing up in their own right, they were becoming aware of their legacy. Briss was asked in an interview how having children changed him, to which he responded, it made him appreciate life more and that he needs to stay around for them.
That's just the main reason I know, like, I gotta stay alive out here, you feel me? Just they keep me, like, they just make sure I make, you feel me? Just think 3 times ahead about everything I do. I gotta move sharper, just, you feel me? Because I gotta be here for them.
Tragically, just 1 year later, he would be brutally murdered in his own neighborhood, as in June 2020, young Slow B's frequent collaborator Briss would be gunned down after a short vehicle collision where he was ultimately shot and pronounced dead at the scene. Briss was a member of the Fruit Ridge Bloods, and he was allegedly chased in the Fruit Ridge area when he crashed into a pole and was shot dead after attempting to escape his attackers. Multiple theories spread online over exactly who was responsible for this murder. Some suggested that Briss was set up by an OG from Fruit Ridge, and then, a few months later, this led to an arrest. Initially, the public assumed that Briss was killed by Oak Park, where the rapper Mozzie is from, in Sacramento, as the two had beef based on their affiliations. However, the police ended up arresting somebody from a different set, with the main consensus now being that members from the Mexican gang Nortenos, or Northerners, from the Oak Park area were actually behind the murder. Slow B would ultimately go on to explain his pain after Briss's death.
R.P. Bristy move. Yeah, man. That's the GOAT.
Showing just how important it is to leave the area you grew up in once you reach success. Sadly, it seems that Slow B was also too late, as just 2 years later, young Slow B would meet the very same fate just 20 minutes outside of Stockton in Manteca, California, when on the 5th of August 2020, Thizzler, a company Slow B and other EBK members had worked with for years, reported the news of his death. Oddly, Slow B was shot in the early hours of the morning, and fans were heartbroken to wake up to the loss of Slow B, as were his Nightingale friends who were devastated. In his No Jumper interview, EBK J-Bo explains that he loved Slow B regardless of their recent fallouts, with J-Bo appearing on Slow Cheese to clear up the situation with Slow B's baby mother.
Fans were kind of like, you know, like, damn, like, where's the loyalty at? Like, all the girls you got, J-Bo, and you want to touch, and you want her? You sleeping with her? All the girls you got. So the fans was kind of like, you know.
If Shlubby was here, he wouldn't care. Not to disrespect her or nothing either, you feel me, because she cool. But she, you feel me, she live a different type of lifestyle. Like, that's not no regular, like, you feel me? Like, I understand if it was like, okay, you brother baby mama, like, that's really like, that's really his, like, that's a cool off limits. I wouldn't even look that way. But you feel me, not to act like she didn't really with Shlub because she be with him. But at the end of the day, that ain't no regular, it's fair game. RP brother, I never disrespect my brother. That's my brother, dead homies. Got the utmost respect to brother to the maximum capacity.
He would also explain that EBK were due to regroup and start putting out music together again.
I mean, not regular. They're not the instantly, the lyric. Why would I fuck with you for free if I know you be selling butt? Popped in my head. Oh, she ain't regular. She, oh, it makes sense. That's the only, it's lining up, yeah.
I mean, bro, you feel me? I love that, bro. Nigga, put our differences in, you feel me, on some kids. But niggas finna put our differences to the side. You see jocking, that's cool.
I was just finna ask you that too.
We was planning it, bro. Just didn't know. We been planning it, bro. Just didn't put the plan into effect. So, bro, Shlubby was a big, you feel me, part of that plan. He gone now, though. But just gonna keep it lit. Gonna push his Shlubby mode, bro.
He then says tornadoes are coming for that, clearly indicating that EBK insists on getting get back for Slow B's murder.
You feel me? And no, tornadoes coming for that. Period. There ain't really nothing else to say about it.
Right now, no arrests have been made, and it would seem that this murder might go unsolved, but many rumors have been spread online as to who it was that might have been responsible, with some assuming that it may have been the enemies Slow B had made in the Sacramento area when he clicked up with Briss, or some suggested that he had been killed over a dispute with a female that he'd been dealing with. Another theory is that Flyboy's affiliated rapper Band-Aid Snowy may have been involved, as in his song Peekaboo, he raps plucking dudes in the early morning, making morning news. Eerily, young Slow B's last recorded music video was for his track titled Don't Come to My Funeral, a very common trend with rappers almost predicting their own fate and visiting graves on their last recorded music video. The video would begin eerily with a memorial to Slow B. However, what's more likely is that this beef was a local one in Stockton.
Due to posts and lyrics from EBK members, it would seem that the Trap Mob or the Flyboys had something to do with the murder. One of the first clues is a Flyboy member named Damar being killed in a double shooting very shortly after Slowby's death.
Well, this is still a very active scene, Andrea. We have several Stockton police detectives here investigating this shooting. Stockton police confirm with me that 2 people were shot around 7:40 tonight. 1 person died and the other was hurt and taken to a nearby hospital. We're told the shooting happened here at the Southside Market grocery store that's off of South Airport Way near East 8th Street. Detectives seem to be canvassing this whole area, focusing on the front of the store, and you can also see several of these evidence markers here in the middle of the parking lot there as detectives still try to process what exactly happened here. Again, as I mentioned, detectives seem to be focusing.
After, EBK Trey B would take to Instagram to taunt the Flyboys, telling them to go and slide. And over the next few years, Flyboys would take several more losses, such as Jay Black, who was actually a rapper from the set that was killed in a double homicide, where EBK Lil Pay was arrested, and another member, Cholo from the Flyboys, also ended up getting killed. Get Back for Slowby's murder was also mentioned in numerous songs, like EBK J-Bo's Slowby Mode, where he raps, "Told bro, X me out the hood if I don't slide for slow." He also mentions that suckers were responsible for his death, and clearly J-Bo felt a way about Slowby being killed, and after coming home from jail in 2023, he had the same cross face tattoo in his honor. He would explain that the tattoo was a tribute, but also stands for something else, possibly catching bodies, which J-Bo raps about often. But regardless of all the get back, it would unfortunately not bring Slowby back. And despite alleged revenge in the streets, to this day, many EBK members are still left heartbroken about the things that played out in the past. Since the death of Slowby, members have continued putting out music, but admittedly at a smaller scale. The reunion with Young Jock and J-Bo in music never happened, possibly due to Slowby's death. Although EBK Young, Jock, and J-Bo have been seen together on cordial terms, such as their interview with The Innovators, now, the biggest star EBK J-Bo seemingly has a pattern of getting locked up every few months. In October 2023, J-Bo was released on bail in his gun case. From here, he would begin dropping music again, like the banger Out on Bail, which was followed up by a stream of singles, interviews, and his album, Sinner's Prayer. But in early 2024, J-Bo would be sent back to prison in the very same case, stunting the progress of his career.
He booming right now, and he got the music in the back. Hey, boy.
But recently, he released his banger single Boogeyman to keep the hype going, but sadly, things have remained active in the streets, with J-Bo's older cousin EBK Osama being killed just weeks ago, after so recently being released from prison on that case that split up EBK. Within 2 months of being freed, he'd been killed, whereas allegedly another EBK member was killed just days before. Tributes for Osama poured out online, even more from members that chose the opposite side of EBK during the split, such as EBK Trey B and Young Jock. This was a terrible time for J-Bo, considering he was on his best run in music, just to get locked up again, and then lose 2 family members in the space of 1 week. Hopefully, EBK can reunite and return to their glory days of music. If they do, they always have the chance of becoming the biggest collective coming out of the West Coast, and to really put Stockton on the map. I just hope that they can leave the gang life and the cycle of violence behind, because they truly have a deep well of potential to make it as musicians, get out the streets, and fly the flag for the new generation of West Coast gangster rappers. I hope you found that story interesting, and if you like these shorter breakdowns on the drill history of different cities, make sure that you hit that like and subscribe button and turn on notifications, because I got a whole lot more baggers coming soon. Thanks for watching.
Hey, nah, no bullshit though. Every time the nigga J-Bo get out, he like he achieve a new level. You know, diving deep into his music and shit. That's the little pattern I'm seeing. Like he'll come out and drop a banger. So hopefully next time when he get out, goddamn, it ain't no more of that. Let me know how y'all feel about this video down in the comment section. If you made it to the end, put it's called Bad Boy. Put Bad Boy in the comments if you made it to the end. It's your boy Snorm gone.